There we go. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm going to make sure you can hear me before I get going. Just going to check. If you guys could give me a thumbs up that you can hear me, just so I know before we get going. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It's Friday. I see we have lots of people joining. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome to the February Stampin' Craft. Yay, yay. Okay, great. I'm going to make sure I get this going. You can hear me. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Had some sound problems before. Okay, I'm going to go live here on Instagram too. There we go. Welcome, welcome. I'm Shannon, and today we're going to create a card featuring the February My Monthly Hero kit. This is actually still available. It is a subscription, but it is an awesome program. If you haven't heard about the My Monthly Hero, I definitely think you should go check it out. We have two kind of bundles released each month, the My Monthly Hero, which is what I'm featuring today, and then the My Monthly Superhero, which is kind of like a builds upon the My Monthly Hero. And we are playing with the February kit today. And we're going to create this really fun card, such a sweet kind of spring and Easter kit. Hello! And I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to do a lot of ink blending in today's live. I'm going to show you kind of my favorite tips and tricks for ink blending with layering stencils, and ink blending on die cuts. These are both very easy ways to ink blend. So if you're new to ink blending, that technique, these are a great way to start and kind of dip your toe in the water, and kind of they're hard to mess up. So they're really great beginner friendly ways to do ink blending. And I'm trying to pay attention to the comments too, you guys. I have a little different setup, so it's a little further away, but I am definitely trying to keep an eye on things. We have a question about my order ID without issues next month. Oh, good. I hope no issues. I hope no issues. So let's get started. I do want to note we have something kind of fun and different this live. We have a flash sale. I'm going to mention it at the beginning and at the end for you guys who are tuning in right now. Oh, there we go. Get that loaded on here. So something fun and different. We are doing a flash sale with the Stampin' Craft, and today our flash sale is 20% off tools and infinity dies, because in addition to the ink blending and the tools I'll be using for that, we'll also be featuring infinity dies in this live. So it's really, really cool. You can actually stack this discount with a current discount current promotion we have going on right now, which is let me get my notes here. It is 20% off site-wide when you spend $75. So you can actually stack this discount, this 20% off on top of that one too. So that's pretty cool. And if you have any questions about that, yes, flash sale. Let me put the graphic up here so you can see that real quick. And again, I'll share it again at the end, but just to get your mind, kind of pay attention to some of these products that I show. And when I mention the sale, you kind of have this in the background as well. So yep, a flash sale off of tools and infinity dies, 20% off. The code is StampCraft20. No spaces, StampCraft20. And it's for 48 hours, so it'll end Sunday. All right. So let's get started on today's card. So let me change my view here. Go to picture in picture. Excellent. And pop back over to the comments. Oh, and then my mouse decided to die. He likes to do that. Yay. Okay. I don't know if you'd be horrified, Brennan. He did do the half off sales a lot during the Hanging with Hero, but I can see your sentiment. But yeah, so flashlight. Oh, and Hero Arts. My wonderful friend Ria is up there running Hero Arts for you guys, and she's popped it into the comments as well. Okay, let's get started with this card. The first thing we're going to do is actually create the background. It's this beautiful kind of flower field. So pretty and really easy to do with the layering stencils included in the February kit. So let's get started. Hello, Nancy from Missouri. Welcome. All right, I'm going to grab the layering stencils. Now, these were included in the February My Monthly Hero kit. So this is part of the regular kit. And the kit, the My Monthly Hero is still available. We still have some left, but once we sell out, we're out. And even we found some more, or I shouldn't say found some more, we were able to verify that we have a few superheroes. So if you're interested if you are a current subscriber to My Monthly Hero and you're interested in bumping up, we have a few superheroes left for this month. If you are not a subscriber to either My Monthly Hero or My Monthly Superhero, we do have some superheroes available too. Okay, so let's start here with this. Hello, Lisa from North Carolina. Welcome. My husband lived in North Carolina for a while, and he really liked it. All right, I'm going to grab a grip mat. Because we're going to use some stencil. You can use tape if you wanted to, but the grip mat makes it so I don't need to, which is nice. Stick that down. I have an A2 panel here of chiffon. This is a really light cardstock, and it was actually included in the My Monthly Hero kit. You get some beautiful cardstocks with that kit. I actually cut them all out, so I'll show them real quick to you. All of these cardstocks are included in the kit. So many colors. In fact, we're going to be using most of these colors for today's card. But these are all, there's one more here included in that My Monthly Hero. So super pretty cardstocks. Love them. So gorgeous. I love starting out with a palette, kind of taking some of the thinking away. And we're going to start with stencil. So I'm going to eyeball this. All of our layering stencils have these wonderful registration marks. I'm going to eyeball it. I'm not taking advantage of those today because I'm starting with a smaller, well, I'm starting with an A2 panel. You need a larger panel to take advantage of those. We might be able to get a little bit of it to show up on the grip mat, but this is actually a pretty easy one to eyeball, so I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to risk it. I'm going to look at my original here, just going to gauge where these flowers fall when it's centered. And I think we'll go down just a hair. And we are there. The first one takes a little bit longer, but after we get that kind of in the right spot, they'll go a lot faster. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, for the first layer, we're going to actually do a combo of inks. Oh, it would be so cute to add a snail. Teresa knows I have snails. We have pet snails at my house. My husband works at Trader Joe's, and sometimes they come in on the flowers and things, and he brought a couple home. And now you guys, update to the snail stories. We have eggs, I guess, because now not only does he collect snails, some other coworkers do, and I guess they had snail eggs. To be really honest, I didn't even know snails made eggs. Hi, Rachel, I see you there. I finally see your comment. So we're going to do a combo of inks here. I'm going to ink blend cotton candy and papaya. So 2 inks. Now, this is a really simple technique. And one that I think we forget about a lot. If we're going to basically layer these colors together to create a color that's more consistent with coral. None of these 2 colors, the cotton candy or the papaya, are really truly coral, but when we layer them together, they create a coral-like color. So that's what I'm doing. So keep that in mind. Sometimes if you don't quite have the right shade, you can layer your inks and create a new color. Usually you see this with stamping, but you can do this with ink blending too. You just have to be mindful of your pressure. Don't be too heavy-handed on the get-go. That way you can, when you add the next color, you're not totally almost opaque or whatever color I guess opaque isn't the right word, but so much of the other color dominating that you won't get a tint of the second color you use or third color. It does take a little bit of trial and error. So that's a bit of the downfall of this. But once you've kind of figured out, like if you're used to working with a certain set of cardstocks, or let's say you have a cardstock color that is your absolute fave, but you don't have an ink that matches, it might be worth kind of spending a little bit of time playing around with your inks that you do have, layering them either, and try both ways. Try layering them with stamping and layering them with ink blending, because it's going to be a little bit different because of the pressure and how much ink. And typically when you stamp, you'll do multiple layers of the ink. So just keep that in mind, and it's definitely worth it for a colored cardstock you really love and you don't have an ink for, to kind of work that out and figure that out. All right. That is it, and I will show you. I didn't even bother to ink blend those, but that's okay. I'm not even going to worry about that. How close this kind of is to the coral. Grab a little scrap of coral cardstock here. And it's pretty darn close. It's a pretty darn close match. So definitely keep that that's a handy tip for cardstocks, I think, sometimes, especially if they don't have a ink that coordinates with it. And even sometimes the coordinating ink I find sometimes a little off. Can sometimes be a little off. So always a helpful, handy tool. Okay, we're going to leave that in place. Now we're going to move on to our next stencil. And we'll just go down the line. We're on stencil number 2. They're always labeled. You always want to make sure when you're using the layering stencils or Hero Arts layering stencils, you should have the Hero Arts in the lower right corner and the skew with the stencil number in the left. I mean, you can flip it around and actually get a different look that way, which is super cool. But if you do that, just be mindful that you need to flip it for your other layers as well. You know, I'm going to grab my original card here just to make sure this looks fairly in the right place. I think it is. I think we did pretty good here with our positioning. There we go. See, pretty forgiving, pretty easy to line up. Hello, welcome friends. I'm glad to see you guys joining us from Instagram. Now for the next layer, this one's going to be really simple. We're going to just do Butter Bar. This is one of my most favorite colors. No worries, Erica. You're right on time. You're right on time. Just kind of starting here. This is a warm, super yummy yellow. And I find I use it a lot for florals. It's just such a pretty yellow for florals. I realized that my daughters have not watched Princess Bride yet. My daughters are 13 and 11. Oh, we're going to do a little bit of fawn now too. I'm going to create a little gradation on some of these flowers. So, and what made me think of that is that this is called Butter Bar, but I always think of Buttercup. And I used to name everything when I was a kid Buttercup. I think it has to have been that came from Princess Bride. So we'll see. I don't know. I remember being a little scary when I was little. So hopefully they don't find it too scary. It's just that eel part I thought was really scary. But I'm excited for them to see it. They, in true honesty though, they don't really like most of my movies that I show them. But we'll see. They might like this one. They might like this one. All right. I think we're good there. Just adding a little bit of this fawn. It's really, I love this color. It's kind of a yellowy tan. Just kind of breaks up that, that yellow a little bit, kind of breaks it up. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. All right, we're going to remove this. We're moving right along. I love ink blending on colored cards. I love ink blending, I should say, layering stencils on colored cardstocks. It's a little bit unexpected, and I think it's just really pretty. Something to remember, though, is to start with a lighter cardstock. That makes it a little bit easier. You'd be surprised, Holly, how much sometimes you remember. We watched, we're doing kind of theme weeks in my family. Very, very informal, nothing, no stress, no real work put into it. You can make it as complicated or not as complicated as you like. Last week we did Secret Garden, and my goodness, I loved that growing up. I loved Secret Garden. And it was, I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and I was quoting it while I was watching it, which I'm sure everybody loved it, but I couldn't help myself. Okay, we're going to start with green apple here. We're going to create a little, we're just going to simply ink blend it over the openings. The bunny's so cute, I know, isn't he? And Kelly, I might have her card here actually. Created a card where she put like a little puff ball for the tail, and I think that's so cute. So now I've got to do that. A little cotton ball. Is that what you call them? Pom-pom. There we go. That's the right word. Pom-pom. The book was magical. It is. And I read it to my daughters, Lisa. I read it to them. And I was holding out for it because it was a big deal. The Secret Garden was a big deal in my family. All my sisters liked it as well. And so I was kind of holding out after we read the book, after I read it to my daughters, I was holding out showing the film to them till there was a time where we could all watch it together, but that just didn't happen. So during this theme week, we did we watched it, and I was really moved. I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is why I like everything BBC. I think actually this is why I like Jane Austen even. Like, it was like eye-opening to me. I was like, I think this is very fundamental to who I am. All right, next color is Pine. We're just going to do a little bit of ink blending here and there, create little gradations. Now, this is kind of over the top for this background, admittedly, but I think it's fun for you guys to see these little tricks here and there to create more depth and interest to the background. And to be really honest, when I was making this card, I didn't know where I was going exactly. I didn't know I was going to cover it up so much. Nancy asked, where can I get the kit and link? Nancy, you can click on Hero Arts and then go to our website and you can find it there. This is the February My Monthly Hero Kit. Not sure if Rhea can help you on Instagram or not, but maybe not. Maybe I can do that. But you should be able to find it by clicking on our icon, and then in the profile, clicking on like the link to our website. And it's heroarts.com. All right, there we go. Holly, it's either a grip mat or a jelly press. This is a grip mat. This is from Waffle Flower Crafts, this grip mat here. All right, this one's done. I'm going to remove that. And it's such a pretty little gradation. I don't know if you guys can see. I will hold the whole thing up to you when I'm done. But again, a lot of this gets covered, which is, I mean, like, is why I feel like I went a little overboard with the adding these details and gradations. But it's so simple to do, and it just creates such a pretty look when it's all done. All right, let's add our last stencil here. Kind of fills in the last little bits, the flower centers, and some final stems and leaves. Oop, squeaky. And then we will use cornflower. This is a beautiful blue. I love it. It matches perfectly the Cascade cardstock, which was included in the kit. So pretty. Just simply ink blend this all over. I know ink blending is the best, right? It's one of my favorite techniques. I think it sometimes, you know, it's so part of card making that I think we kind of forget. Myself probably mainly does, forgets it's a technique, but it is still a technique. It is very much a technique, and there's different approaches to it as well that kind of steps it up. And my favorite is that little bit of gradation. Question, Holly says, do all the Hero Arts inks now match the Spellbinders cardstock? No, they do not. The inks that we have right now, our core inks, are created before the merger. So they do not match. They're kind of standalone. There might be things in the future. That's probably all I'll say right now, that there might be a future where that changes, but right now, no, they do not match. But they are wonderful inks. And like I said, I do little tricks here and there to create, which is what I did here with that first layering of the cotton candy and the papaya. I layered those together to create a color that matched the coral. But they are kind of standalone on their own. So here's the blended panel. You can see a little bit of gradations that we have going on with the leaves and stems. So simple, really, really pretty. Melissa says, I just discovered ink blending with stencils last year, and it's my favorite thing to do. And now I love playing with color combos. That, Melissa, that is my everything. You and me would have a lot of fun with that. That is my favorite thing to do with layering stencils, is playing around with different color combos, doing something a little unexpected. I hate sometimes how I'm so straightforward with my colors, like flowers are pink and yellow and leaves are always green. And every time I play around with it a little bit, I use maybe a blue for the leaves. I'm always so impressed and love the results. And stencils with ink blending makes it so easy to try out different colors. So it's much easier than stamping and everything. So I love it. I love it. Hello, Heather. Oh, I can't wait for you to get to superhero. Oh, it's so good. All right. Yeah, I love the blue leaves too, right? Like, I love them. Okay. So we actually have that panel done. We're going to now move on to our bunny here. Now, the bunny is actually stamped in sand core ink. And that gives it a softer look as opposed to if you were to stamp it in black ink. So something a little fun to think about here and there is you don't always have to stamp your images in black ink. So let's do that guy. Let's grab my Misty. I've seen black leaves used very effectively. Yes, I know. Right, Nancy? Or nope, not Nancy. Sorry. From a distance, it looked like Nancy. None your business. Yes, I agree. I've seen brown leaves, like and in a floral arrangement, brown used for leaves so well. So I know it's not something that comes naturally to me. I really have to push myself to do it. But when I do try out the different color combos, I love it. And again, layering stencils with ink blending makes it so easy to kind of experiment with that. All right, we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut from the February. Whoops, things are falling. The February My Monthly Hero. It is a really pretty, and mine's already well loved and used, so that's why the little discoloration. But it's a cute little bunny and flower set. We're going to grab this guy right here and stick him down. Thank you, Ria. Exactly. Oh, that's a good tip. Erica says there's two sides to paper. That's right. We forget that sometimes. So if you don't like what you did on one side, just flip your paper over. Just flip it over. And I do that all the time. Hello. Oh, your kit should be here today. Oh, I'm so excited. Little drops in a bucket. That's a cute handle. I love that name. All right. I know the bunnies are so cute. All right. This is the sand that I was mentioning before. I'm going to ink it and stamp it. It's a really light tan. And I think I'm going to stamp it like 2 more times. So 3 times in total, just to build up the intensity a little bit. Yes, you can still order kits, Lori. You can. Yep, we still have some available. We even have some superhero available, which sold out last month. But we do have a few of those left. Again, today I'm focusing just on the My Monthly Hero, not the superhero, but the superhero includes everything I'm working with today, all the stamps, dies, stencils, and cardstock. But you get a couple additional products that kind of build on these products that we're working with today. There's a layering stencil that actually helps you color all these bunnies in this set. So that's really nice. Even the flowers. There is also a grass die that's included in the superhero. What else is included? Oh, and there's a Stampin' Cut, another Stampin' Cut included in the superhero. So really awesome. I think while I've got this here in my Misty, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment as well. Well, hello, Michelle. I love your handle. It's cute. All right, I'm going to grab the sentiment. I'm going to do, what did I do? Happy Spring. That's what I'm going to do again. This could easily be an Easter card, even though there's no eggs, but there are eggs. So if you wanted to stamp a couple eggs and put them down at the bottom of the bouquet, that would be cute too. Oh, yay, I'm glad you got the superhero. That's great. Yeah, we were able to get some more together, and I'm so happy that some people can join that because the superhero is so good. Such a great value. All right, we're gonna stamp these in cornflower, that beautiful blue again. And again, something to consider, stamping your sentiments in another color. Not always doing black. I am definitely always doing black or white heat embossing on black cardstock. So I sometimes forget, oh yeah, I can do this in colored ink. I understand you, Kathy. I know it's hard sometimes, but they're so cute. All right, I'm going to finish up with the one more time, I think. I just re-inked some of my ink pads, so they're a little splotchier than they normally would stamp. There you go. I think that's good. All right, we're going to go and now start to color this. Now we're going to do some very simple coloring with alcohol markers. Super easy. You could even leave the bunny white if you wanted to. That's the beauty of a bunny, right? You don't have to color it. Hello, Lisa. Yeah, we're trying I don't know your handle, but yes, we're trying to do some lives on Instagram now too. All right, and of course there's coordinating dies for both of these, the sentiment and the bunny. We will get to that later, but let's color this real quick. I have some Copics picked out. These are the markers I'm going to be using today. We have E51, E30, E31. These are the three colors I'm using on the rabbit. I'll have another color when we get to a couple pinks, I should say, picked out. Oh, I moved the stamp out. Did I put it away? I did. Okay, I'll have to be careful when I'm coloring today. Usually I like to, after I color with my Copics, I like to stamp it one more time, but I made a mistake and I pulled my stamp out of my MISTI. So I'm just going to be really careful not to color on the stamped line. And it'll stay nice and crisp that way. There we go. That's kind of our base. I like to start with my lightest color first. Then we'll move on to our medium shade, which again is E30. I'm going to create a little gradation here. Doing a feathered stroke. That'll make it easier to blend out so it's nice and smooth later. Now I'm going to grab my original bunny here, just kind of see how I colored it before. Colored a little on the ears. And a little shadow under this ear here. And then I'll add a little shadow to the arms, and I think we'll be pretty close to done. I don't even know if I need to go. I'll do a little bit of my darker shade. I'll do a tiny bit of my darker shade on his little bum here. Too cute. Little there. Almost like no line coloring, but not quite, because I'm not really intending to lose the outline completely. Just wanted it to be a softer look than a black outline. And I'll finish with the last one. Can we use a discount code to purchase the My Monthly Hero? That is a great question. I'm going to have Rhea answer that for you because I am not sure of the answer. She will answer in the comments. That's a great question. We're finishing up with our lightest shade, just kind of softening it, blending it out. And I think that looks pretty darn good. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of pink. I have a couple pinks picked out. And I'm going to use, what did I use? I have to look at my notes here. I used R20 for the cheeks. So we're going to make a little cheek here, a little rosy cheek on her, or this guy. I'm going to soften it with my lightest shade, which is E51. What is the code again? The code is StampCraft20. You get 20% off tools. So we have a tool section on the website and 20% off infinity dies, which we have. I've not used an infinity die yet, but I will show you it in just a second. Then I'm going to use R11 at the bottom. Oh, and here Rhea says, while the flash sale doesn't apply to MMH, we are running a 20% off 75 plus order. So you can use the 20% off 75 at checkout. This code is stackable with the flash sale codes. There's two codes essentially you could be using right now. The first code, which is StampCraft20, and then the site-wide code is, which StampCraft20 is just off of tools and infinity dies. And then the second code is 20 off 75, which is site-wide, but you have to spend, you get 20 off when you spend 75 or more. I hope that makes sense. And we'll finish with a little bit here. The stamp cleaner, you need, Kathy. You need to get the stamp cleaner and the scrubber. You do, and they're under tools, Kathy. The stamp cleaner and the scrubber are both under the tool, so they are part of this promotion, which is awesome. I think I need a little bit of my colors blender, which I didn't grab out, just to soften the tooth. Is this bluey? That's bluey. Let's try my other one. That's right. That's a good one. Soften that just a bit. Okay, that coloring is done. Let's die cut all these out. So cute. I mean, the sweetest little bunny, right? It looks like it came out of a children's storybook, right? Feels like an illustrated, like a illustrated image, I guess. All right, we're gonna grab the coordinating dies. I need a little piece of tape. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great on time. Okay. Grab some tape to hold these dies in place. Love, love, love that the coordinating dies cut out these sentiments as well, which is essential for this card. It would have been really not as pretty if I had to hand cut it out or make a sentiment strip. So love that. Yes, Beatrix Potter. Exactly, Leanne. Right, exactly. It does look like that. All right, get this lined up. Put our tape down. Yes, I know, right, Michelle? They're so cute. Michelle said, the bunnies are why I'm switching to the bigger kit. They're just adorable. And the bigger kit, or the superhero kit, actually includes layering stencils to color the bunnies. So if you don't feel super confident in your coloring skills, those layering stencils make coloring them really easy. All right, trying to grab a couple more pieces here. I feel like I always kind of do overkill here on die cutting just because, you know, taping it down, making sure it's really well centered or well positioned, because I feel like this is the card maker's equivalent to measure twice, cut once. Even though I think we have that too with cutting panels and things, but especially with this. Because you don't want to have to, you want a nice cut on something you colored, you spent time coloring. Which means I'm going to adjust this just a hair more. Okay. Let's die cut this out. Yeah, 2 is great, Teresa. I have 3. one scrubber for cleaning my stamps, which I will use with Ultra Clean, which is seriously such a great cleaner. So good. And then I use one scrubber for cleaning my stencils with alcohol. So I can clean, you don't want to use alcohol for your stamps, but you can use it for cleaning your stencils. So you can save your Ultra Clean for your stamps. That's the Ultra Clean is specially formulated to work with clear and rubber stamps. So great for that. And then your rubbing alcohol, use that to clean your stencils. But I like to keep scrubbers. So this one's for my stencils, and I just mark it with a little marker. And then the one for my stamps, I keep in my chamois bowl. So this one's for my stamps. So this one's got the Ultra Clean, this one's got the alcohol. So I don't accidentally, use one for both, but I love using my scrubber for cleaning my stencils as well. It's just a little bit softer and it doesn't catch on your stencils like because it's bristly, it's like bristles, or felt, maybe not felt, like soft Velcro, probably that's a better way to describe it. So it doesn't catch on those delicate areas of your stencil like a towel would. So it's so good. And then I have my third scrubber is for, I use it as like a Chucky tool. So when I stamp, I rub it over my Misty. Yes, Kathy, I understand that. Oh yeah, the magnet you love it. I get that. I go back and forth. Sometimes I have a magnet sheet. Sometimes I use it, but I don't always trust it. So I go back and forth. Another game I play with myself sometimes is can I keep it in place without tape? So I will, if it's not a crucial, like something I didn't color or stamp, if it's just like I'm die cutting colored cardstock with maybe like, let's say a leaf or something, I will position it in the little open spot that I have. And then I will like challenge myself to keep my plates perfectly straight and holding them really tight as I move my my plates, my sandwich to the die cutting machine. And we're almost done here. Remove this. I know, Melissa, right? I hate it too. I hate it. It's really frustrating. And then it kind of like messes up your stencil a little bit, which is like the real reason why it's frustrating. All right, we've got our spring. That looks great. Our bunny looking cute. Now let's just remove the happy. And then we'll be almost ready to kind of put this together. I think the next thing we'll do is die cut our panel with the rounded corners infinity dies. I do have a couple other samples of projects created with the with other infinity dies and the My Monthly Hero kit, so I will show those. But they're just, infinity dies are so infinity dies are our nesting dies, our Hero Arts nesting dies, and they're truly essential. They're like one of the most essential items that you will use them over and over and over and over again. Okay, those guys are done. We'll put that aside. Now we'll move on to cutting this panel of vellum. So this panel of vellum just helps to make that background a little less busy because it's a little bit too busy for the bouquet all right on the background. It's just a little too busy. It would get lost. You'd lose the bouquet. You wouldn't really see it. So that little vellum panel softens it a little bit so you can see it. So let's die cut that out. We're going to use probably one of my most favorite infinity die sets. Let me grab it. Oh, it dropped on the floor. That's what happened to it. This is the rounded corners. It cuts all the way up to an A2 size, and you get a ton. I love this one. I use it a lot. It's just so pretty, and I love having dies where the rounded corners, like you could use a corner rounder for sure, but this just makes it nest a little bit better. Your panels nest a little bit better than if you were to use a corner rounder. So I love it, love it, love it. Let's see which one I used. I think I used this one. Did I guess right? Nope. I used the one bigger than that. Yeah, this is a great die set. I love it. So good. And this is one of the ones you can get 20% off. Tuck that back in there. Let's grab my vellum panel. There we go. And we'll just die cut this. See, this is like one I would, oh, this is not going to be much of a challenge. So, but I would try to make sure it doesn't shift on me without taping as I run it through my die cutting machine. Whoop. All right. Isn't it a great trick, Erica? She says she uses it a lot to kind of, totally. It's a great little trick. And it's a way to be like, you don't feel like you wasted or, you know, like you didn't realize that this was going to be too competing, the bouquet and the background, but they're still beautiful together. It's just a little too much without that little buffer of the vellum. Okay. Toss that aside. Okay, so I actually have all of my flowers die cut already out. So let's grab those. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending. We can't put this on here yet until we have our bouquet made, because that's how we're going to strategically hide our foam adhesive. So we got to make our bouquet next. So I'm going to get some of these things out of the way so we get a little more room. Toss that in here. And I am using the Hero Arts magnetic sheets and envelopes, the combo together. And they are part of the tool. So these are on sale as well. All righty. So for this, I'm going to grab another grip mat, a smaller one here. And I'm going to ink blend over these die cuts to add a little bit more dimension and depth. This is something I love to do. You can see it's kind of ink blended here on the centers and even a little bit of ink blending on the leaves, which I think you will notice more in person than you do on camera. Super easy to do. And I love to do it. It's probably one of my most favorite ways to step up die cuts. I'm using a grip mat. Now, if you don't have a grip mat, you can definitely use the leftover pieces of paper you die cut your elements from, like right here. I would pop my die cut like this inside. And that, like, let's say we'll do it for this one, just as a demonstration. I like the grip mat a little bit better, but what this does, what are the storage elements? They're called, Rita might be able to help you with that. She's still here. I think they're called like magnetic storage envelopes. Ooh, I'm not sure. Actually, I can even look. I take that back. I can look. I have it pulled up. What? This is the wrong one. Shoot. Well, they're here too. I can actually see. They are called, Ria's going to be faster than me, I think. They're called the regular, so the one I was using, where did it go? This is the regular size magnetic sheet and storage envelopes. It all comes in one. You'll get, I think, I forgot how many you get in there. How many you get in there? I think it's 5 in the pack. Why is this hard to find? Well, that's a problem. It needs to say how many you get. Uh-oh, Rhea, help me. I don't remember how you get. I think you get like 5 in the pack. So the price is $22.99, and I think you get 5. Rhea's going to have to find that out for me. Includes 10. Oh my gosh, that's even better. Why can I not find that on here? If we don't have that on our website, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. But yeah, this is a wonderful one. It's great for the 4x6 clears and with the coordinating dies. And the last thing I'm going to point out about the envelopes, they're really sturdy. If you've never used the Hero Arts envelopes, do you see how well they are seamed together? Like, you don't have to worry about like busting through the sides of these. These are really good envelopes. Really great. Second paragraph. Okay, it's there. I'm just blind, which, I mean, not too surprising, to be honest, that I missed it. Okay, so if you don't have a grip mat, you can just use this leftover piece of cardstock that you die cut your stem from, and that will kind of hold it and support it a little bit because this is a kind of delicate die cut. I'm going to ink blend this one in Forever Green. Just ink blend a little bit of it. Create a little gradation. And see how it's holding it in place? If you were to maybe ink blend this without that kind of, I guess it's almost like a jig, leftover piece of cardstock, you might bend it and warp it. So that's really helpful if you don't have the a grip mat. You can use that. But I'm going to use my grip mat for the rest of them. But I just wanted to show that just in case. Oh, you're too kind, Erica. I'm sure I should be able to see that, but I know why I didn't see it, because it was written as a word. It wasn't a number 10. It was written as a word. And so I was like, I don't see it. I just see dimensions. Okay, we're going to ink blend this one also in the Forever Green. So these two stems were cut out of, and I should show the dies real quick. I used these dies here, this beautiful die set, which is included in the February My Monthly Hero. So pretty. Lots of flowers, petals, and centers. There's stems. You can layer these up to create really beautiful dimensional flowers. Super easy to do. Yeah, you can ink blend before you die cut too. Absolutely. So that works great too. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on if I want to be more precise on where I want the color to go. Here we go. So those are 2 little stems. Put those aside. And I think I'm going to move to the flower centers. I am going to do a quick wipe down though of some of this ink. And this, I would actually clean my grip mat, because the grip mat is actually the same material that your stamps are made out of, your cleared stamps. So this is, I would use for this, don't use alcohol, use your Ultra Clean. And then I'll use my scrubber. And that does a great job of kind of picking up that color. So now I don't have to worry about any of this. Then I do a little clean, because the Ultra Clean leaves like a little kind of oily, almost residue on it. I wouldn't say quite oily, but it's a little slick. I just like to clean it one more time with water before I put my die cuts down. All right. Let's do we're going to put everything, kind of create these little sections here so you can do it fast. We've got our yellows here. We're going to ink blend some of the flower centers, the petals. Let's grab our coral parts and our coral flowers. There we go. And I even going to ink blend. Let me grab my tweezers for this. Some of these teeny tiny flower centers. You could even use a marker if you wanted to, if it's too tiny. This would be a good, Well, this one cuts out a bunch at once. Where did it go? I've lost one of my flower centers. Okay, we'll have to do this one instead. How does that happen? I don't know. They always disappear. And look, I almost lost another one. You need to stay over here so I don't lose you. Okay. Okay, we're going to ink blend the coral with just the papaya. Just going to keep it simple. Tap off the excess there. I'm going to ink blend one of these more. Go a little bit further from the center. We're going to switch up to this one. That's better. This one I'll do a little less. So it's darker, a little bit lighter. This one we're going to ink blend as best we can in the center. Just a little bit of color though. Yeah, we'll just ink blend like that. Looks so pretty already. Okay, really stepping these up. And this is the teeniest amount of ink blending. Then for the yellow, we're going to use Butter Bar. Ink blend the center. Our 2 petals. For that flower, ink blend half of this flower center there. I'm going to switch to my smaller one. And ink blend a little each of these flower centers. Cute. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna actually put some of these together because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose stuff. I've already lost one flower center. Okay, I'm gonna grab my liquid glue. And we're gonna put, whoops, my nozzle broke and it's driving me nuts. I've got to fix it, but that's a problem we'll figure out another day. I'm going to layer the lighter one on top of the darker one. Whoops. Try that again. There we go. So pretty. Then we'll go with this flower center. If I can grab it. Where'd my tweezers go? I'm nothing without my tweezers. I need them. There we go. And then this one will be layered on top of each other as well. There's actually bases for these flowers. You could even have like a base layer, a third layer, which would be the back layer. I need to pull these off before I glue. But for these flowers, I'm just doing the 2 petal layers and not the base layer. So it's nice you can kind of switch it around like that. This guy, he will get one of the flower yellow centers. These are not really on camera. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Instagram. See, pick that up, stick it down. There we go. I'm going to put these guys carefully off to the side. Hopefully we don't lose them. And we'll move on to our next parts. We don't have too much more ink blending to do. We're just going to ink blend these orange flowers, and which are carrot, and one of these centers. There we go. And then last we'll have these green leaves and stems. And then we'll be ready to put this all together. We have a couple more blue cascade flower petals that we'll put on this guy here. And put a bow together, flower centers, and then we'll be ready to wrap this all up. Okay, so let's do the orange. We're going to go back to papaya for those flowers. I'm going to blend just like half of that center there. And then for these, we're going to do pine. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to get your kits. I can't wait to see what you guys create. Everybody's so creative with the kits, and I'm always so excited to see what others make. Let's pick this up a little bit. So pretty with that little bit of green. Oh, I love it. A little bit of gradation. All right, we're going to put these flowers together. Finish up with our flower centers. Let's move this out of the way, actually. Grab these guys. Flower centers. Let's grab all of our leaves. We'll start putting those together too in a second. We're done with our grip mat. Toss that aside. All right. So grab my liquid glue. Let's add our orange center to our yellow flower. Got a clog. There we go. Add a little bit to these too while I'm at it. And time to move on to this tool. This is great for these little tiny die cuts. It's just like a wax tip. So handy. Pickup tool, I think is what it's called. I think this one's from Pink Fresh, but I don't know for sure. Can't remember now. Okay, we'll grab that. This big guy, he's going onto this stem. I love that these stems have a little spot to adhere your flowers. It's great. Oh, look at how pretty. So cute. Oh, that's a good point, Mary. Yeah, it would keep your fingers cleaner when ink blending. Absolutely. Looking at my original here because I can't remember where things go. We have this one. He gets this guy. I definitely don't have to do the exact floral arrangement, but it takes some of the thinking out of putting a flower arrangement together because that's where I spend way too much time is arranging things. I'm trying to speed that up. Stick that down. Here we go. 2 more flowers. So cute. I love them. They're adorable. I could make paper flowers all day. And these 2 are kind of loose. We'll put them and fill them in where we want. The last one is this one. I'm going to add little dabs of glue. And we're going to start popping on those cascade flowers. Whoops. How rude. Okay, there it goes. Stick these on. Then our need to flip this over. Can't grab it. Almost there. Can we get it from here? Yes, we can. Nice. And the last little ones. Oh, and I see all 3 are in here. I didn't lose them. And the last one. There we go. Just gonna fix one of these guys. They're a little off. Okay. There we are. I do add a little white gel pen to the, yeah, reverse tweezers for the win, right, Erica? I am nothing without my reverse tweezers. I am nothing. I will add little white flower centers, but I like to wait till I kind of have everything put together. All right, we've got our bouquet to create now. I do have a piece of press and seal here waiting in the wings for once I get those flowers together. Aren't the blue ones so pretty? I know, a little finicky how tiny they are, but totally worth it. So let's start arranging. And bend these a little. I mean, just how pretty are they? It's so pretty. Can't get over it. This one's going to be a little funky, but we'll cover it up with the bunny. There we go. And then this one, let's do this first. There we go. Then our blue kind of gets tucked in here. I love that blue one too. It's so pretty. And then this one. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to pop my bunny on top. Oh, I haven't made the bow yet. We'll do that last. Pop my bunny on top. Might end up cutting that part off. That one that's just kind of sticking out funny. But the rest of it's pretty good. Grab my grip mat. I'm afraid to do the sentiment yet. I'm going to do that next. Whew, there we go. And I might be able to kind of pull this away carefully and pop in these other die cuts. While the press and seal holds most of it together, we'll pop in these other ones. Famous last words. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'll adjust that later. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think we just need to move our big flower. And now we do the foam adhesive. Oh yeah, that looks great. So foam adhesive time. And I'm going to snip off though this little stem that's kind of sticking out being weird. Cut him off. And the foam adhesive strips are what's going to hold everything together. Now you could just glue this. You don't have to pop it up. Definitely popping up makes it a little trickier, but I love the dimension. I feel like it's worth it. So I'm going to go for it. Let's grab this thicker piece and use this to hold most of these stems and leaves on the bunny in place. So that's going to do a lot of work for us there. Perfect. Now I'm going to cut a bunch. Stick with the thicker stuff, actually. Do I have squares? Squares would be nice. I do have squares. Woo! Okay, let's grab our squares. Pop some here and there. See, those flowers are really helping to be places where we can stick our foam adhesive. It's also where we're going to put our foam adhesive when we do the vellum. Make sure that's hidden. Yep, that's hidden. All right, I'm almost done, I think. Yes, you have to get, yes, a grip mat. They're great. Game changers for sure. They're just big clear stamps, essentially. That's what they are. But they're sticky because we all of our stampers know, right, how sticky our stamps can be. So they work really great. All right, I'm gonna do, I think that's good. I don't think I need any more than that. That's plenty. All right, so we're gonna remove the backing on this and stick it onto our vellum. How are we doing on time? Running a little over. Okay. I gotta go into speed mode here, but we're almost there. I'd say 10 more minutes. Give me 10 more minutes. Okay, remove the backing on this. And on these strips. Again, worst tweezers to the rescue. I used to have such a hard time removing backing on foam adhesive. Right, Mike? You need it. It's worth it. It's so worth it. Okay, I gotta stand up. Can't do this seated. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Now remove this. Look it turned out so good. So, so cute. Okay, I'm just gonna glue these in place with liquid glue. Let's say happy spring, not spring happy. Let's not ruin it that way. I think I've lost my needle and I'm probably out of clog. Here we go, grab a new one. Yeah, you got to use them, Melissa. It's so helpful. Press and seal is awesome. Such a great. I don't even use press and seal in the kitchen. I just use it for crafting. And I'm going to adjust. I can adjust these a little bit if I want to. A tiny bit. I have a little bit of play. Might move that down just a bit. And add the liquid glue, let's see. Happy spring. Hold it just for a second here. Cute. Real quick with a white gel pen for the centers. You could also use like enamel dots if you wanted to, or liquid pearls. Be a fun way to add a little bit more dimension. I'm just going to use a white gel pen. And it brings in the white a little bit from the bunny and the sentiment. I'm going to flip it over. And probably shouldn't have done the foam adhesive or the white gel pen quite yet, but those are the choices I made. So that's the situation I'm in. Now we're going to take the foam adhesive and add it right where we had it before. And so now when we add it to the card base or to the panel, it's all going to be hidden still, but we will get the vellum popped up as well. Just add a couple here. There we go. Before I add that though, I'm going to, didn't mess it up. It was close. Almost did. That's why you got to wait and do those gel pen at the end. Shannon, why do you not learn from your old mistakes? Add that there. Stick this down. Okay, and while I'm finishing this up, I'm just going to remind everybody that we have a flash sale for 48 hours. All of our tools and infinity dies are 20% off. The code is StampCraft20. So definitely check that out. It ends Sunday. We do currently have another sale or promotion going on. It is 20% off site-wise if you spend $75 or more. So you can actually stack both discounts, which is really nice. All right. I'm going to stick this guy down, and then all we have left to do is the bow. And I didn't mention the discount, the code for the 20% off 75, which is, that one ends very soon. Shoot, Rhea, forgot when it ends. That code is 20 off 75. All right. Is it straight? I don't know. It doesn't look very straight. Okay, I think it's straight. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is the little teeny bow. So this bow is actually meant to kind of tie up the bouquet, but I thought it would be cute on the bunny. You could totally stop here. You don't have to add a bow, but I think that it is a fun little detail. And I love how it brings that cascade color down. So let's pick up a little bit of that glue. Got too much, so pick a little bit up, tuck it under. Oops. Hold it just for a second. Struggling here. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it right to the rabbit right now, and I'll add the last little piece to the bow. Ah! Of course. You stinker. All right, there we go. Last piece. There's a little second layer to the bow, like a second hoop loop. It's cute. Now I'll clean up some of my over gluing. All right, it is done. All right, that's the final piece. I'll hold up so the camera so you can see. Such a pretty card. And that background we created could be all on its own. It was such a pretty background all by itself. You could just put a sentiment down. So cute. Oh, Kathy says, I got this entire sardine line because you know who doesn't need sardines and mermaids in his stash? Exactly. That sardine one, if you guys haven't checked it out, is so cute. It's called Packed with Love. It's got a lot of adorable puns in there. I think there was one of my favorite. Oh, you're officially old. And there's one that you're well preserved. I thought that was so cute too. So definitely check out that collection. That was one of our January collections that released. So cute, but really love this beautiful February My Monthly Hero. I'm going to put the sale up one more time. Again, the vellum was cut with that awesome infinity die set. One of my favorites. Oh, I'm going to quickly show Kelly's cards that use the infinity set, some of the infinity sets. Here's one by Kelly that uses our nesting rectangles. Classic. Definitely need, if you don't have a nesting A2 kind of rectangles die set, you definitely need to get one. It's so good. To show how I did at the beginning. You can check out the whole video on YouTube. We'll have this up there. You can watch it again, or on Instagram. I guess you can kind of start over from the beginning. I think it's saved. Maybe it's not saved. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done Instagram lives. Here is the nesting arches. Love, 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 love this one. This one's probably one of our most popular, one of our best sellers is this nesting arches. It's so good. Mindy just shared a project on Hero Arts with this and this stencil here. So check that project out. And then here's our nesting ovals, our infinity ovals. Really pretty. Create those frame, the window. Love that. Different kind of idea. Same kind of breaking up the pattern. But this one, instead of using vellum like I did on this one, she just cut it away and then kind of made a window with it. And I love that idea. So brilliant. There's so much you can do with infinity dies. They're truly essential. And the last infinity die I'm going to show you guys, because I know it's another really popular one. We have a postage stamp infinity die set. So that's a really handy one as well. I love all the postage themed stuff. So this one here is really handy with those other projects. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. All right, guys, I'm going to pop up. Let's put my face back on here. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? So forward, picture in picture. Sorry, I'm really close. Pop on one more time the code. Where is it? For the flash sale. There we go. Definitely check that out. And the code again is StampCraft20 to get 20% off tools and infinity dies. All right, and hide that. But there. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys being such a wonderful audience and cheering me on. It's been a wonderful Stamp Craft. I will actually be doing another Stampin' Craft next month, so check that out too. I'll be featuring the March, My Monthly Hero, which is coming out very soon. It'll be coming out the beginning, I guess not very soon. Everything seems all at once sometimes. The next My Monthly Hero will be March 1st, so stay tuned for that one. But I can't wait for you guys to get the February My Monthly Hero and February My Monthly Superhero and see what you guys create. So definitely share those projects. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much, and bye, everyone.